Welcome to the UIAAA Connection podcast. Hometown Ticketing is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the UIAAA Connection podcast and to provide schools nationwide with the best options for digital ticketing for their events. Visit their website at hometownticketing.com to learn how they can make digital ticketing possible and simple at your school. Thank you to Hometown Ticketing for their exclusive sponsorship of the UIAAA Connection podcast.
Welcome back to another edition of the UIAAA Connection. I'm your host, Mark Hutch Hunter. Today we have as our guest Tracy Leinen, Certified Master Athletic Administrator and Executive Director of the Idaho Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Welcome to the podcast, Tracy.
Welcome. Thank you.
Let's have you start by sharing with our listeners where you grew up, where you went to college, your first job, those types of things.
All right. Well, I grew up in Iowa. I was a little Midwest girl. I started off my elementary days in Denison, Iowa. Then I my parents moved quite a few times, so we moved to Manning, and then I ended up in Harlan, Iowa, through my high school career. So my junior year and senior year, I was in Harlan, Iowa, and had a great time there. Got to play a lot of sports. I was very active. My dad was a farmer, and we just kind of went from there. After high school, I went on to college. I went to Northwest Missouri State University. I was on a scholarship to play basketball and softball at Northwest Missouri. Completed my 4 years there. played those sports during my college career, and then graduated from college, and then I went on and was at my first teaching job. I got at St. Albert's High School in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and I taught there for 2 years before I moved, made the big move to Boise, Idaho. And at Boise, Idaho, I ended up getting a job at Boise High, and I spent the rest of my career at Boise High School.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up, if you will allow that. You obviously played basketball in Iowa. So when you played, was it still 3 on one side, 3 on the other, or had they changed that by that time?
Yeah, no, it was what we call 6-man basketball. So yes, we had 3 guards on one side of the court, 3 guards on the other side of the court, or 3 forwards on the other side of the court. And I was lucky enough to be a forward and played post position most of the time, and had a great time. And Iowa basketball, if people don't know, Iowa basketball 6-on-6 was bigger than boys basketball in Iowa. State tournaments and everything were wonderful, well attended. We had a great following, and like I said, back at that time, it was wonderful being a female athlete and being able to play the basketball the way we got to play it. So
you were showing off your leadership skills back then. You just got on the block and said, "Give me the rock," and they fed you, well, and you took care of them.
Kind of, sort of, yeah, something like that.
That's excellent. And so, when you were in Iowa as a youth, shifting from these small towns, did they have a lot of youth sports activities, or
no?
Not?
Actually, it was really no activities outside junior high. Junior high is when I got involved and got to start playing junior high sports, and just kind of carried on from there. But we did not have any opportunities at that point in time to do. There was no summer leagues, there was no camps, stuff like that. It wasn't until I moved to Harlan that I actually got to go to my first basketball camp that I ever went to. But the nice thing about Harlan was they had fall softball and summer softball. So I got 2 seasons of softball every year, then played basketball in the middle, and then ran track and did that in the spring.
Oh, that's
so I was
incredible.
A 4-season athlete.
Well, thanks so much for sharing. Let's have you talk for a moment about some of the great people that have been an influence or mentors in your life and the effect they had on you?
Well, I'll be honest. To start off with, it was probably who got me where I am today. I would probably have to contribute most of that to my college athletic director, Sherry Reeves. She was a great lady, and I just had so much respect for her when I was playing college sports. She was a great supporter of us, and she really got me interested in, hey, down the road, maybe this is something I want to do. With that being said, I knew I wanted to be a coach. So I started off my coaching career, and back in St. Albert's, I coached 3 sports there before I moved to Boise. And in Boise, I got the opportunity to coach 3 sports there. Once I started doing all the sports at Boise High, and then there were some major people that were an influence to me to make me want to decide to move out of the coaching career and start in the athletic director career. And one of those people was my athletic director, our district athletic director in Boise, Jack Akery. He did a fantastic job of doing his job, and it just made me again want to get better and to do more things. And so that was a big step. Another person, once I did get the assistant athletic director's job, I got involved with Marcus Ross. And Marcus Ross is a big leader, or was a big leader in Idaho. He took me kind of under his wing and said, hey, you need to go to a national conference. And the first national conference I got to go to, IIAA conference, was in Las Vegas, Nevada. With that being said, I dove in. I took 3 LTI classes, my first conference that I was at, and just got involved. Our assistant athletic director in the Boise School District was Tama Everett, and she also said, hey, you can room with me. It'll save you some money, whatnot. Go to this conference, it'll be great, etc. And the whole time I was at this conference, I had to laugh a little bit because she goes, I never see you. Where are you? And I said, well, I'm taking all these LTI classes and whatnot. So it was a great experience for me. I loved it, had a great time, got to experience a lot of good stuff. And from that point on, I was hooked. I knew that I wanted to be involved with the IIAA. I wanted to do all those things. And then fortunately down the road, we had a split in our school. Boise High split because we were too large. So we split into 2 schools, Timberline High School and Boise High School. When that split took place, our assistant principal at that point in time was Ken Anderson. He became the head principal, and that's when I applied for the head job at Boise High and got the head job, and that was in 1998.
Well, that's incredible. It brings back so many memories. You talk about that Las Vegas conference. Allow me to share, if you will. I made the one-time only investment of 4 LTI courses. And I don't think I had, like you, I don't think I had one moment of free time. But then you mentioned Marcus Ross, and that brings back memories, because I think the first time I met you was I ran against Marcus Ross for the at-large in '99 in New Orleans. And I think that's probably the first time we had the chance to meet. So that's, our friendship goes back close to 23 years. So that's incredible. So thanks for sharing that.
You bet. No problem.
Now let's talk for a moment about the job of today's athletic administrator and how it's different from when you started all those years ago.
Well, when I started, there was a lot to do, no doubt about it. But I think today there's a lot more to do. So, I dove in. We were in charge of course, all the athletics in the school, which back then we didn't have near as many athletics as we have right now. Things weren't sanctioned. We had some club sports and stuff like that, but I was never in charge of the club sports when we first started. And as time grew, when I first got the job, I taught half a day and only had 3 hours of athletic director's time in my position, and that is like doesn't happen anymore nowadays. I mean, now most athletic directors, unless you're in a smaller school, will be a full-time athletic director. And even at this point in time, we have assistant athletic directors in a lot of our schools. But like I said, it was a great opportunity. I got to learn a lot. I'll be honest, I'm very happy that I was able to retire when I retired. I know the COVID situation that has arisen in the last few years has caused a lot of concern, a lot more work involved with being an athletic director, running events, making sure that everybody's safe, all those types of things. But with that being said, I had a great time. I learned a lot. Every year, my job got a little bit tougher because we took on more responsibilities, and whether that was district motivated, say, to do things, or whether that was self-motivated, because that's kind of who I am and how I'm all about is I like taking on more projects. I like doing more things, and I like being involved. And so I just kind of dove in with everything and gave it all I had.
Very good. You mentioned how you started in the IIAAA and the NIAAA. So talk more about that journey, about some of the committees that you got involved in, those types of things.
Okay, fantastic. I started off as a rep with the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, which is the IIAAA. And I became involved when I was an assistant in that position. So Marcus Ross was a big leader in that area. And he said, you got to get yourself involved. I think you should try to do this. So I jumped on the board and became very involved with the Athletic Directors Association in Idaho and helped them out. From there, once I became the head athletic director, I had a year or so, and then they put me in as vice president, and then I became president. Now I'm, of course, a past president. After Marcus decided that he was ready to retire and get out, he encouraged me to apply for the NEDC job, the National Executive Directors Council job. And so I did apply for that. We had 3 or 4 people running for that position. I was lucky enough to win that position and to, I don't know, maybe earn that position, whatever the case may be, but became involved with that as well. But as far as running and being a part of the IIAA, I can't tell you how many conferences that I've been at and have been a part of. I'm still very involved with the IIAA. I am the exhibitor person who takes care of all the exhibitors. I also go out and get all of our sponsorships, and I'm very involved with meetings and stuff like that, trying to lead others and help others. Many of our young athletic directors that are getting involved, I'm trying to mentor them and get them involved with the NIAAA. Because once they get involved with the IIAA, we kind of got them hooked a little bit, and then we just got to keep moving them on up to the other ranks that are involved with the athletic director's position.
Thanks for sharing that. So let's follow up with a little question about the National Executive Directors Council, of which you're a part, and your involvement there. I realize in the past, and you still may be, because my memory fails me because I'm old, a section representative, but talk about the NEDC and the vision of Jerry McGee and how great it is to be involved with those people.
Well, you know, it's an elite group. There's no doubt about it. Being able to be a part of the NEDC is a fantastic opportunity. And you are correct. I am still a section rep. I have 1 year left on that. I will be getting off that position here in December, and we'll have somebody new taking my spot. But it's a great organization. everyone is so involved and wants to help out and share ideas and information with each other. We're just trying to make each of our states that much better. And when we go to our conferences, we get to share that information. We get to learn more information. It's totally a bonding situation. I can't say enough great things about it. I love it. And I don't want to retire from that yet, because I'm having so much fun and I'm learning so much, and just the camaraderie to be around friends and be able to get together and give each other hugs and, you know, share information is just, it's just a great experience.
Thanks for sharing that. Let's have you share with our audience now your contributions to professional development, both at the state level in Idaho and, of course, at the national level at the NIAAA.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time for me?
Let's have you share with our audience your contributions to professional development, both in Idaho and nationally with the NIAAA.
Fantastic. Okay, so professional development, again, LTI classes are so very important. We try in Idaho to get as many people to take those LTI classes and to get them involved. The more they're involved, the better they can become as an athletic director. And so we feel that that has happened and needs to happen on a regular basis. I have taught some LTI classes at our state level. I also went to Oregon and taught a class or two over there and had experience doing that. Our leadership person in our state is Cass Herbst and also Polly Dolke. They do a lot of our LTI, they're our coordinators, so they do a lot of those types of things, but I'm still involved at the conferences, making sure that everything's run right and doing all those types of things. Without those leadership training classes, I tell you what, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I did not count up how many classes I've taken, but I know it's well over 35 to 40 classes that I've taken. I do have my, I can't even think what the name of it's called right now. My CMAA, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I do have my CMAA. I went through and, you know, did all the things I needed to do, passed my CAA exam, and then went on and got my CMAA. The project that is part of the leadership is, you know, it can be a lot of fun, and I made it fun. I ended up doing a wall of fame for Boise High School, which was something that they very much needed. We made it so that kids got honored and recognized, and I'm sorry to say that since I've left, no one has carried that on. So that's kind of a disappointment to me. Again, I will try the next athletic director that comes there. I'm going to try to get them under my belt, mentor them a little bit, and try to get them to carry on with that, because that is it's a great experience for kids. They walk up and down the halls and see, you know, their peers on the wall, getting the recognition they deserve and stuff like that. So I want to keep that going as far as that goes. As far as the NIAAA is concerned, I had the opportunity to be a board member with the NIAAA, and I got a unique experience because I got to have an extra year. Our section had a representative from Alaska, and Alaska's representative was no longer able to complete his term. And so I got to jump on about 6 months early, and got to be a part of the NIAAA and whatnot. And I can't tell you the experience with the NIAAA. Once you're on that board, which Mark, you're aware of, you've been there.
We served together
for a time. Yeah. It's just a fantastic opportunity. The NIAAA family is truly a family. It's an experience that I will never let leave my mind. Sorry, I got something in my throat there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's a great experience working with them. The leadership that we have started off with Bruce Whitehead. Excuse me. Bruce Whitehead, now Mike Blackburn, and Phil's going to be taking over at the helm here just shortly. So I don't know. I can't put in words what it means to me and what it will mean to any person that wants to get on that board, the family, the connections, the support, and everything that you get from them.
Very good. Let's have you talk for a moment about the special opportunity you had of serving on that 4th strategic plan committee, because there's even less people that serve on a strategic plan committee than there are on the board, and you've had a chance to be both. So talk about that time for a minute and how great it is to delve into the day-to-day meetings with IIAA.
That was a fantastic opportunity. Being on the 4th strategic plan and knowing that we as people get to contribute to what's going to happen with the IIAA down the road is just amazing. Hutch, you were my leader, so we had a great time. We did a lot of things. We did a lot of brainstorming. They sent us to Indianapolis. We got to brainstorm. We got to do things. We all got together as a group. And then to be honest, we had just had some really special times. I mean, you made it special, Hutch, because
thanks.
You made it special. And the reason you made it special is because you included each one of us as an individual, as a unique person. And you had us bring in songs and you made us tapes or CDs and our favorite songs. And now I go back and listen to that and I know exactly who that song belongs to and where they're all about. And so it was just such a special connection to be able to be a part of that and to be able to get on that committee. And I'm not sure who made those committees. I'm not sure, if that was from the top down and they got you guys and then you guys picked who you needed or wanted.
No, it's
or
the board.
whatnot.
The sections put in their people, and the board, I mean, we can say we like this person, but basically it's the board and the leadership of the IIAA that puts them there to try to make them diverse. And it's so funny you mentioned the song. I was mowing my lawn yesterday, had my playlist going, and Pontoon came on, and immediately my mind went to you. And so that's strange
right.
how that works. So
That's right.
Let's go back for a moment to your time on the board. You did mention you had the unique opportunity to serve an extra year because Alaska wasn't able to fulfill that. But do you have any other stories or comments about your time on the board? Because as you mentioned, it's a big deal if you get on there, and it's so special to serve with these people from across the nation. So I'll turn it over to you.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you, the friendships that I have, that I got to be a part of because of the board, are times that I will never, ever forget. I mean, those people are still very close to me. I keep in contact with them. I enjoy being around them. I even reach out to them when it's not conference time or any of those types of things. It's a great opportunity, and what they have done for me and just made me a better person because of who they are. Joni Pabst, Annette Scoggin, you, Hutch, Bruce, Mike, all those people. I can't say enough great things about them. And some of the people that I was on the board with have passed, and for that I'm very sorry. But for those people, I will hold so close to my heart right here because it was just a unique experience. And one other thing about being on the board, and before I was on the board, getting involved with the IIAA, I would tell anybody, if you have the opportunity to join a committee with the NIAAA that you need to go out and you need to reach out and you need to do that, because I was on 3 or 4 different committees. I got the opportunity to be on the awards committee, which was a great experience. It's so rewarding. I was on the credentials committee, where we pounded the halls and tried to get people to vote and stuff. It's a much easier process now because we're doing everything through the computer and online, so that makes it a lot easier. But I mean, we had I vote symbols, and I would hunt people down at the conferences and say, I don't see your little patch on your tag, so you have to go vote right now. It's important. Come vote, come vote. And it was great. It was a great experience, and we had a lot of good times. And like I said, I can't say enough about the NIAAA. And if you're a young athletic director, your goal should be to someday be on the board, and also to try to be on as many committees as you can be on. They have term limits now, so it's not like you can get involved. Don't be afraid to take that step and to better yourself.
Very well said. Thank you so much for sharing that. Share with our audience your observations. I say the recent NIAAA conference, it's been 8 months since we had it, but really that first conference we had in Denver after COVID, where everyone got together. So share your observations about that conference with us.
You know, it was such a wonderful time because with COVID being on, and we were supposed to go to Florida the year before and couldn't do it and had to do a virtual. And I said at that point in time, never want to do a virtual conference again. So going to Denver, being a part of Denver, and it wasn't even about Denver at that point in time. It was just about being at an NIAAA conference again, having the opportunity to see your friends, to hug your friends, to communicate with your friends. And again, a learning environment, LTI classes, sessions that were going on, the breakout sessions, the general sessions. If you haven't had the opportunity to go to a conference, national conference, I guarantee you, once you go, you'll be hooked. You'll never want to miss another one. I haven't missed one since I started going, and I don't plan on it. I mean, it's a great opportunity to get involved, to see your friends, to go to classes, to reconnect. School-based athletics or school-based education, all those types of things, it all comes together right there. And again, I'm a person that I love people. So I want to be around my friends. I want to hug my friends. I want to see my friends. I want to tell them how much I miss them and can't wait to see them again. That's what it's all about. Very
well said. Allow me to ask you this. What's the favorite part of your job? Kind of a 2-part question. The favorite part of your job when you were the AD at Boise, and the favorite part of your job now that you're the executive director.
Well, being the AD at Boise High was a fantastic opportunity for me. The favorite part of my job at Boise High School was being able to help others. Kids, athletics, I was all part of that. And kids come up, even today, you know, I'm in Little Cascade, Idaho right now, because that's where I'm residing. Sold the house in Boise and moved to Cascade, but even being in Cascade, I run up to the convenience store to get a cup of coffee or whatever, and I run into people all the time, and they're like, Coach, it was just the best time at Boise High when you were there. And it's those things that make me miss my job and miss not being there, but still gave me the opportunity to connect with those young athletes and those young students and being a part of their life and helping them mature, grow, get jobs. One of my buddies, not even a buddy of mine, really, just one of my students that came up 2 weeks ago at the convenience store and said, "Hey, because of you, I am doing what I'm doing right now." And I said, "Well, what are you doing?" He goes, "I'm guiding fish tours all the time. I'm a boat guide, and I take people out all the time." And I go, "Well, probably better take me out then and get me hooked up, because I can't catch fish in this lake for anything right now." But with that being said, it's just neat having those kids come back and be a part of your life and going from there. And I know there was another question on that, and I missed
favorite part now that you're the executive director in Idaho. Now, what's the favorite part of your job?
So now the favorite part in Idaho is mentoring the young athletic directors, and at the conferences, trying to get our conference built up and get more people involved. I have a young man that I'm working hard on right now, Tyler Johnson. He's a young athletic director, and he's got a family and he's got a lot going on. But I've tried to tell him over and over and over again, get involved, be a part. He now got on a committee with the IIAAA. So he's on a committee now. He's been going to the conferences for a few years. And, I just want to mentor him and make him go on further and go from there.
Well said. Thanks for sharing that. Let's have you share your 2 suggestions for a brand new athletic director, that they would need to follow these suggestions in order for them to be successful. What would those 2 suggestions be, Tracy?
Well, a number 1 suggestion would be, don't be afraid to work hard. And if you don't want to work hard, then you're not going to be successful. So take what you have, guide your way through, and just keep working hard and being the best person you can be. And in your heart, you have to love athletics, and you have to want to make an improvement, and you want to make kids be the best that they can be. So that would be my number 1 thing, is don't be afraid, dive in, work hard, and be the best you can be. My second suggestion would be that time commitment is very tough, and you have to leave time for your family and make sure that you take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to become a good, effective athletic director. So reach out, have constraints, know what you're going to do, prioritize your time, but don't be afraid to work hard. But don't forget your family and your friends, because you need them. And without them, you're not going to have the health that you need to have.
Very well said. Thanks so much. Let's finish with this one, Tracy. What questions should I have asked you that I failed to ask you?
Well, I don't know. You did a pretty good job of asking questions. So, I think I can just wrap it up and say, I am so happy that I got the opportunity to be able to talk to you, Mark, and to be able to do this podcast and have the opportunity to share my experiences with others. And I can only hope that I am a small part of maybe helping someone else down the road with their athletic director's job to become a better athletic director. Or if they ever need to reach out to me by email. You can call me. I'm not sure what kind of information you're going to give them, but I'm in Idaho, and they can look me up on the website, and they can get all my information. I'd be happy to help out. Right now I'm trying to help out and mentor our Cascade athletic director here in Cascade, Idaho. I'm going to volunteer sometime and go up and help him, and try to get him to go a little bit further than where he's at. I actually didn't even know the young man, and I met him a few years back, and he wanted to get involved, and he wasn't an athletic director anywhere. And I ended up helping him get the job here in Cascade. So I'm very proud of him, and I want to continue to mentor him and make him be the best he can be.
Well, thanks so much for sharing that. That really wraps it up for this edition of the UIAAA Connection. Once again, our guest has been Tracy Leinen, Certified Master Athletic Administrator and the Executive Director of the Idaho Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Thanks so much, Tracy, for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, Mark. Have yourself a great day.
You too. For our listeners, we hope you tune in again next week for another edition of the UIAAA Connection.